Hey guys, what's happening? It's Bill from Keystone Weapon, and I've been seeing a lot of topics dealing with caliber conversions and things like that online. Some topics, maybe converting to a 22 upper, or can I put a 45 upper on my 9mm and things like that. And I wanted to say that it looks like the guys online are doing a really great job of answering that, but I thought it would be helpful if I showed you some of that. So this first gun, this is an XT22 frame, which is very similar to a 45's frame. In fact, I have both the XT22 caliber conversion for it, or this is actually the standard XT22 upper, but I also have an upper that I built for it in 45 ACP. If I get the darn thing on. But this gun will use both 45 ACP and the 9mm, or I'm sorry, and the 22. That's not the right slide, by the way. Sorry. This is the right slide. This is the 45 slide that I made for it. I just Duracoated it not too long ago. It came out pretty decent. It's a matte black, and you'll see that this will go on this frame without an issue. The slide stop obviously has to go in there, but no problem. This guy's ready to rock and roll. So now this gun's a 45. I can do it that fast just by switching the uppers on it, and obviously using different magazines. The magazines are all universal. They'll fit all each other. In fact, the Kimber mags also work on this, by the way. So what I really wanted to show you though is something dealing with some of these more odd conversions. So this is my 9mm. And I have to make a correction from a video I did before. I said it has 2,000 rounds through it. I actually meant 20,000. So this gun right here is a 9mm, and I'll go ahead and take that apart. And some questions came up: can I put a 45 slide on a 9mm? And the answer to that is no. Will it fit? Absolutely, until it hits the ejector. So the ejector is actually that's the right slide, so of course it's going to fit that. The ejector is this guy right here. It's not the extractor, which is inside here, the hook. But you're going to see that this part right here is where the ejector is going to go in, and it's going to stop. You can see that it doesn't quite fit right. Could you make it fit? Sure, you probably could. Are the ejectors the same? No, they're not. So a 9mm ejector is quite a bit longer, as you can see right here, than your standard 45 ACP ejector, which you can see is only that long. So the ejectors are different. The magazines will fit just fine. Everything else will fit just fine, but the ejector's the big deal. And as you can see, maybe you can see that in the camera, maybe you can't. There's a stake pin in there. So these aren't exactly made to just pull out and switch. You pretty much get them for the life of the gun, and they're pretty good. So you'd have the same thing, but sort of in opposite if you put a 9mm top end on a 45 ACP frame. It'll actually for the most part fit, and for the most part work, but that ejector is too short for the 9mm. Now again, this is the 9mm slide, or I'm sorry, this is the 9mm frame, and this is my 9mm slide. Everything goes together hunky-dory, right? But what I've also done is I've also made a 38 Super slide for this, because the 38 Super's ejector is the same as the 9mm. So I could just as easily convert this to 38 Super just with a slide change. Actually, for the most part, you can do it just with a barrel and spring change, or just a barrel change. However, I wanted to be able to set these sights permanently to 38 Super so I can just easily change my slides. The Rock Island 22 TCM, as of right now, there aren't conversion kits for any of the guns. This is a little bit of a different kind of a deal, but it sounds like they plan on making them in the future, which is going to be excellent. So if you want to go out and get yourself a 22 conversion, you can't buy this XT one. It's special. It's very different, and that's a whole nother topic. But say you want to go out and buy a Kimber 22 conversion kit, or Sennyer, or whatever, any of those conversion kits, you need to have a 45 frame, and it's because of this ejector right here. Now, this gun here, I also have a 9mm barrel, and I can switch this out, put my 9mm barrel in it, and it has a different recoil spring and extractor. It uses the same ejector, though. This guy right here, this is a 10 millimeter. The 10 millimeters breech face is designed off of the 40s breech face. So I could get a 40 barrel for this, in theory, if I wanted to, and I could have a 40 barrel fit for this particular slide because that breech face is going to be the same. So that's your other main difference. Your breech face has to be able to accommodate it, and so does your ejector. So the 10 millimeter and 40 are friends. The 9mm and 38 Super are friends, and the 45 are friends with 45, the 9mm conversions, and those sorts of things. It's very hard to cross those different boundaries, though, because of that ejector. That ejector is going to be your main holdup. So I wanted to take a minute and show you guys a couple of these. I hope that helps a little bit. I have slides and slide stops and frames all over the place, but hopefully that should help you a little bit as far as what is compatible with what. I'm not going to go into all the nitty-gritty details. That's something you should do a lot of research on if you're going to get ready to do a conversion or something like that. But I wanted to share this just because a lot of questions have come up, and a lot of people mix up extractor and ejector, and I thought it would be easier to show you that it will not clear this with a 9mm top end. All right, guys, have fun, shoot safe, and keep it classy.